from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
And welcome back to KPIX 5 this morning. The time is 6:29. I'm Melissa Kane.
And I'm Julie Watts. And we will start with a check of our forecast this half hour. Taking a live look outside over the Golden Gate this morning, you can see gray skies continue. I know I say it a lot, but it's one of my favorite sayings from Brian Hackney, status quo. And this is what you expect in the summer in San Francisco. We get our summer closer to October. So we are starting off on the cool side, especially along the coast. We're in the 50s for Concord and Oakland, and 56 in Livermore. 55 right now in San Francisco, 52 in Santa Rosa. You can see that low cloud deck has made its way inland, so everyone's starting off with gray skies, but it will pull back to the coast later today. We will see more sunshine, though temperatures do remain below average for this time of year. I've got your full forecast coming up, along with a warm-up by the end of the work week. Details still ahead, Melissa.
And the body of U.S. Senator John McCain will lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda in Washington, and his funeral service will be at the Washington National Cathedral. The Arizona Republican died yesterday after a year-long battle against brain cancer. He was 81. In 1967, as a young naval officer, his plane was shot down, and he was imprisoned and tortured for 5 years by the North Vietnamese. He later served 3 decades in the U.S. Senate and ran for president twice. McCain was known as a maverick who never hesitated to speak his mind, and he was a vocal critic of President Trump, a fellow Republican. He was also known for his rare ability to work with lawmakers on both sides of the political aisle.
As you go through life, you meet very few truly great men. He was one of them.
People waved American flags yesterday as the hearse carrying McCain's body made its way to a Phoenix funeral home. McCain died 9 years to the day after Massachusetts Senator Ted Kennedy passed away also from brain cancer. An exact schedule for McCain's services has not yet been announced. McCain's daughter, Meghan McCain, posted this statement on Twitter, quote, "He was a great fire who burned bright, and we lived in his light and warmth for so very long. We know that his flame lives on in each of us. The days and years to come will not be the same without my dad, but they will be good days because of the example he lived for us." And new this morning, at least one person is dead after a shooting in East Oakland. It happened around 1:30 a.m. on East Street near 92nd Avenue. So far, no word on a motive and no suspect description.
BART police are looking into another stabbing on the transit system. A BART spokesman says it happened last night during a fight on southbound train. A 40-year-old man suffered a 1-inch long cut to his thumb. The suspect then got off at Oakland's MacArthur BART station, where he got away. The incident prompted a half-hour shutdown of that station. Now, this is the third stabbing to happen at the MacArthur BART station since July.
And Fairfield police have identified the teenager killed in a shooting near Armijo High School. They say 16-year-old Amar Willis of Fairfield was shot on Friday afternoon near Bell Avenue and Washington Street. Another victim, an 18-year-old Vallejo man, remains hospitalized. Now, the shooting prompted a lockdown at the school where a crowd was gathered for a football game. The 2 suspects were arrested. Police say it began as an altercation between 2 groups.
An investigation's underway after a Tesla that may have been in self-driving mode slammed into the back of a fire truck. The crash happened around 1 a.m. yesterday morning in the southbound 101 in San Jose, just south of Bailey Avenue. Now, firefighters had just shown up to the crash when they say a black Tesla rammed into one of their parked fire engines. No firefighters were injured, but the driver of the Tesla was put on a stretcher, and a CHP officer appeared to give him a sobriety test. The driver and passenger were transported to the hospital. No word this morning on their conditions. And a tweet, San Jose firefighters say this is the second time in recent months that a Tesla has rear-ended one of their fire trucks. They also say that the Tesla was reportedly in auto mode, driving 70 miles per hour, but that the auto braking system was not engaged. In a statement, the company says, quote, "Tesla has not yet received any data from the car, but we are working to establish the facts of the incident."
And back here in the Bay Area, folks in the LGBTQ community are gathering in downtown San Jose this weekend for the annual Silicon Valley Pride Festival. Thousands gathered at Plaza de Cesar Chavez yesterday evening for day 1 of the 2-day event. Now, some tech companies from inside and outside the valley are lending support.
Being lesbian, gay, transgender, whatever you are, we want to make sure that in the high-tech world, in the everyday world, that everybody is equal.
A parade along Market Street between Julian and San Fernando Streets is set to start at 10 o'clock this morning.
Back here in the Bay Area, Vector Control is expanding its area in Contra Costa County, where they found mosquitoes carrying the West Nile virus. The latest infected mosquitoes were from the city of Byron. Mosquitoes with West Nile were previously found this year in Oakley, Martinez, Holland Tract, Discovery Bay, and Quimby Island.
And in Rhode Island, a shocking video shows the moment a motorcyclist slams right into an ambulance that came seemingly out of nowhere. It turns out a 13-year-old boy with autism was driving that ambulance. Police say firefighters were evaluating the boy at his mother's request because he appeared to be unsettled. And that's when the boy hopped into the ambulance and drove off, crashing ultimately down an embankment. The motorcyclist only broke a finger. The boy and the firefighter who tried to stop the ambulance had minor injuries.
Good morning, everybody. We got football leading us off of the NFL variety. And yeah, I get it. It's all fun and games until somebody gets hit in the mouth. 49ers and Colts on Channel 5 yesterday afternoon. We got Richard Sherman, Stanford alum, prowling, ready for his 49er preseason debut. Pick it up second quarter. Here's Colts quarterback and fellow Stanford man Andrew Luck. Missed all of last season with a shoulder injury, but you wouldn't know it when he found tight end Eric Ebron on a 15-yard scoring play. Luck put his Colts ahead 7-3. Jimmy Garoppolo struggled in the red zone, 0 for 3. This pass broken up by Kenny Moore. Next play, linebacker Darius Leonard tracked him down. Oh, this one should have been picked. 10 costly turnovers due. Niners dropped a 23-17 decision. Twins honored Hall of Famer Jim Thome and his 612 home runs. Host of the A's, top fourth, A's Jonathan Lucroy gone. 3-run blast, he drove in 4, beat the Twins 6-2, remained 1.5 games behind Houston in the AL West. Edgar Renteria and the 2010 World Series champ Giants honored before yesterday's game at AT&T. Bottom 7 against Texas. Hunter Pence deep and gone. Only Pence's second home run for the year. Giants beat Texas 5-3. Here's a footnote as we shut this one down. Catcher Buster Posey is scheduled for season-ending hip surgery tomorrow. He'll be out a projected 6 to 8 months. That is sports at this hour. Everybody have a great Sunday. As for me, I'll see you later.
If it seems like your dog has an actual bone to pick with you today, and maybe because they know it's National Dog Day.
Every day, I believe, is National Dog Day. August 26th is the designated day to celebrate our furry friends of all breeds. Whether your mutt is short or tall, long-haired or short-haired, give them a little extra love today. And thanks so much for joining us today.
We'll see you next weekend.